Hey everybody, Shavvo here, bringing you a 1 versus 1 match. I'm so excited. I got my monitor issue fixed, and this is just epic StarCraft play. Once again, it's not on that absolute shit monitor that I was working on my past however many videos, but I got it fixed and I am just so thrilled about it. So this is going to be a 1 versus 1 match on the map Lost Temple, and it's going to be against myself, Shavvo, against ORLYOWL. And he said, "I have great respect for you," and I said, "Thanks, good luck, have fun." I don't know why I said that. Maybe it's just kind of like a mind game or something. Maybe he's trying to play mind games or something, lull me into a false sense of security. Let's see what your game is, ORLYOWL. Anyway, APM wise, 260 for myself, as I am a spammer to impress the ladies, sending out a scouting drone at the top position here in the wrong position, and I did find him with my Overlord. So I just sent my Overlord to hover right over his hatchery just to make sure he's not doing some kind of weird shenanigans like proxy, or I guess you can't proxy. Well, technically you can in a Zerg versus Zerg. You can proxy. Let's try that. Anyway, but I'm just making sure he doesn't do any kind of like 6 pull, 10 pull, anything to where he's trying to do some sort of cheese maneuver, I guess is what the people call it, and get me an early rush. Or rush me earlier, or whatever I'm trying to say, I don't know. 14 and 13 on the harvester count. I'm throwing down an extractor and a spawning pool right here pretty much at the same time. I did the 15 extractor, 14 pool. Still hovering 279, spamming like crazy. Checking this out, making sure that it's a spawning pool, and indeed it is a spawning pool. And I'm just making sure to see if mine is a little bit ahead of his and whatnot, and he's doing the same of my base. 15 to 15 on the drone count, 2 overlords to 2 overlords, so we are dead even right now. So it's a pretty standard, typical build. Sending my Overlord up over here, and I try to make him patrol like right around here, because sometimes that'll make him wig out and like go in crazy weird circles, and that just kind of like throws him off a little bit, in my opinion, I guess. I don't know why I do that. I think it's funny. It distracts people, and sometimes they'll click on the Overlord instead of their drones and whatnot. So just like a little diversionary tactic just to kind of get that going. Starting his metabolic boost and his queen. And I'm doing the same, so identical builds. My queen is a little bit ahead of his, but that's alright. Not too far apart from each other. So identical builds right now. I'm throwing down a roach warren, as I was expecting him to go banelings, and I got my Overlord out of the way so he wouldn't kill it with his queen prematurely. I didn't want any Overlord death to happen just as right now. My queen just popping out right now, doing the inject on there. He moved his Overlord out of the way just like I did mine, and I decided to build my Roach Warren just on the bottom here, so in case he tried to push in with his Overlord and get a little bit more scouting information, he wouldn't be able to see that before my queen was able to kill him. So, and this is where the build starts to differ. He's throwing down a hatchery, early expand over here, throwing down some, or he's sending out some links to do some scouting information. He's throwing his Overlord over here, and I see that. I'm warping into a lair, by the way, and he is not doing that yet. He is also throwing down a Roach Warren. I see his Overlord coming back in with my queen, so I decide to go ahead and start taking it out, as I don't want him to see this Roach Warren just yet, or my lair. And lucky for me, he pushes his Overlord out just in the nick of time, so he is not able to see any of that. And here comes the first engagement. My lings just popped just in the nick of time, and our researchers just spawned, or just finished at the same time over here. He's trying to micro Zerglings as best he can, but my Zerglings just outnumber his, so I'm able to take him down with relative ease. My lair is just about a little over halfway done. He is yet to morph into a lair. Hatchery almost completed. Got my first roach on the field right now. Unit production. My lair is coming out. He's building another hatchery, 2 roaches, and I'm building 5 more roaches as I am planning to push out fairly soon here. APM wise, 273 for me, 40 for him. That's alright. He's not a spammer like me. I'm cool like that. Sending out a couple of Zerglings just to see what's going on, see that he did expand, just checking out his base just to make sure there's nothing weird in there, or if he's gonna lair or anything yet. Spreading his creep pretty nicely. Hatchery almost done, or his hatchery is done. I have yet to expand, so he is going to pull ahead of me in the economy if I don't do something about this right now, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm waiting for my roaches to catch up to me, and then I'm going to go straight for the hatchery. Got my lair going, throwing down a Hydralisk down over here. Income-wise, he is ahead of me, 22 to 19, so his income is looking a little bit better than mine. So I just popped out another few drones, and it's now dead even as far as the economy-wise, or harvester count rather. And he pushed out with his roaches over here, and I was able to kind of get him off guard and take out all of his roaches with my lings and roaches. I'm throwing down a hatchery right now. Do I have glial reconstitution? I do not have glial reconstitution yet. Fail on my part. Making a whole bunch of zerglings over here. Pushing out with my roaches, going to try and take out this hatchery, and I'm starting to attack it right now. He has really not too much to counter it with, so he's pulling all of his drones off the line, including his queen and a couple of roaches. He's taking all of his drones. That's very unusual. And his hatchery is just about to go down. He's just pushing it out right now. My lings come in just to kind of create a little bit of a wall to try and get this. I pull them all back, and I do one more hit on the hatchery to take the hatchery down. And now I'm getting the hell out of dodge. I'm going to try and take out some of his drones, but I don't want to get any of my roaches dead, as that was almost dead, and I lost one roach there. But his hatchery does go down, and that puts me ahead as my hatchery is just popped. And that's a good idea to expand when you're on the attack, expand when you're on the offensive. That way your opponent can't counter you, just like I did to him. His lair is just completed, and he has yet to, there it goes, he's thrown up on the hatchery right there, or the lair rather, throwing up on the lair. Unit production wise, I've got a couple of, or one drone rather, now being morphed in, starting to research the groove spines, making 3 more drones, deciding to push in, see what I can do. He's got a fairly good amount of roaches. He's got about 9 roaches or so. And what units do I have? I have about 5 roaches, 14 lings, and 1 hydra. So that's not really enough to take on this force. It's going to be somewhat enough, but my lings are going to go down. Trying to get a good kill on those roaches, but my stupid hydralisk over here is trying to take out this overlord instead. So I decided to pull back with my roaches and cut my losses, come back, regroup, and then push out again. Throwing up on my hatchery again. My queen likes to throw up. She's weird like that. Morphing into an overseer. So I want to do a little bit of scouting, throw down a changeling over here and just see what he's got APM wise. 251 to 46 right now. Overseer just completed. Throwing down an evolution chamber, getting some upgrades, spreading the creep. Not doing so bad. 31 to 21 on the harvester count. Oddly enough, even pretty even on the mineral income. I'm a little bit ahead of him as I have 3 geysers going, and he only has 1 geyser, so that's not too hot for him. Throwing down his hatchery again, as he was kind of pissed off, I would imagine, from losing that initial hatchery. Looking at units right now, he's sitting right about 15 roaches. I'm sitting at about 4 roaches, 5 hydralisks, and a bunch of zerglings, 10 zerglings. Sending in a couple of zerglings just to scout out, going one going to the Zelnaga Watchtower, and I see that this one push is coming in for him. He's pushing out with 14, 15 roaches, and that doesn't spell too good for the force I currently have right now. His roaches are going to overpower my forces right now, so what am I doing? Making as many roaches as I can. 3 roaches are right now on the income tab. Here come the first engagement. My ling is coming in over there to act as meat shields right now. I got my hydralis over here trying to take out as many roaches as I possibly can. I've got about 4 roaches acting as meat shields right now, but I just don't have enough. I'm building a spine crawler on the ledge over here to try and take this out. My roaches have yet to spawn, and here come 3 more roaches over here. So I'm pulling back to the safety of my spine crawler that is yet to be built, and I'm coming in right now. I'm going to try and get a good concave around there, and my stupid roaches get pushed in the back over here, but now I'm finally able to get some roaches up in the front to act as meat shields right now. My hydralist, this is the only hydralist that is remaining. I've got a few roaches over here. My roaches outnumber his right now, so I'm going to be able to win this battle, but I'm lost quite a few units. But I think I'm doing alright. And I win the battle with about 4 roaches and 1 hydra remaining. And I am now upgrading the carapace, level 1 carapace for my units right now, making a queen on my hatchery over here. If I had a queen over here, that would greatly help out, but unfortunately I was the noob and didn't do that. So 248 to 50 as the APM wise, still hovering around that 200 mark. He's made a couple more roaches, got a little bit more roaches, about 9 roaches so far. He's not really attacking beyond anything other than roaches though, so that's kind of unfortunate for him, and he finally put up that second geyser. Queen just now spawning over here, throwing up on that hatchery, throwing up on this hatchery, keeping that good throw up going, building a second evolution chamber so I can get my second upgrades going. And what are we doing over here? He's researching burrow. Researching burrow, huh? So he's planning to do some burrow action with his roaches. My level 1 carapace is about halfway done now. APM still about 245.51. Got a good saturation going on my expansion over here. Continuing to throw up on my hatcheries, building a couple of overlords. Got some hydralisks coming out. I'm very, very heavy on gas, but not so much on minerals, so I needed to really make some more drones, maybe pull a couple off of this. Here I only have 2 on there, so I pulled 1 off. And I think I decided, yep, I go to the nydus network. I'm really digging the nydus network now. I don't know why, but it's just so darn cool. I really dig it. I love it. Love it. Unfortunately, it doesn't work in all situations, but it works in a lot of situations. It really catches your people off guard, or the people I'm playing against off guard, because they just don't expect it. So I think it's pretty good, especially if I have a good site over here. It just really works out well, especially since he has all of his roaches in the front. So my nice network is just about completed. Once it is done, I'm loading this bad boy up, and I'm starting to build over here. He's completely blissfully unaware that impending doom is coming. Making a ton of roaches. He's got 28 roaches. That is just a butt ton of roaches right now. 16 roaches, 8 hydralisks, 24 zerglings, all pushing out into his base from the rear. Coming in over here, trying to get as much damage as I possibly can. I'm going to take down the queen. Coming in over here, my roaches are coming in, and the queen goes down. I'm going to try and get some of these drones and whatnot. He's pulled all of his drones off the line. Here come the armada of roaches, coming in over here, taking out my zerglings. I'm going to come in, and I'm going to try and get as much as I can with these hydras taking out, but he outnumbers me grossly with the roaches, so he does the burrow trick, rejuvenates a little bit coming down over here. And my roaches and hydralisks are just pretty scattered, and he's going to be able to do the burrow trick and outnumber me, outmass me, take out whatever I have, and I'm going to be forced to pull back. So I'm pulling back, going into the nydus worm with my tail between my legs, trying to get back as many as I can, and I'm able to save just a few. Got a few more roaches up over here, but I was macroing up some roaches during that battle, and I saw that he was going pretty roach heavy, so I get a good amount of roaches just to act as meat shields, and then I switch over to hydralisk. Got my crown carapace level 2 in the works, got my missile attacks level 2 in the works. So I'm really going for the hydralisk build over here. I got 1-1 hydras right now, continuing to throw up all the hatcheries and my lair. So that didn't work, but it did lower the harvester count. I'm currently sitting at 37 to 27 as far as the income wise. So he had to rebuild his spawning pool. He lost his roach horn, so he pretty much has nothing left right now. This is kind of like an all or nothing push. But fortunately, what do I have? I think I have 6 hydralisks in the works right now, so I'm going to be able to really take care of this. Now I got my overseer right on top of everything, so I'm going to see everything that happens, and I do see him pushing in right now. But my units outmass his units. I got 23 roaches and 6 hydralisks, so I'm greatly going to be able to take this out, and I'm able to see everything when he does this roach burrow trick, so that's just not working out for him. So this is just kind of like the final stand coming over here, and I've got a good concave with my roaches. I'm just greatly outmassing that, and he decides to leave the game. So that's kind of unfortunate for him, but I'm glad I was able to come out with a win. So hope you enjoyed this commentary. More to come.